Okay, start na tayo. For last topic, we have environmental health. So sa environmental health, it is the science and art of conservation and promotion of public health through the control of environment. Refers to control of physical environment which have or may not have deleterious or adverse effect on people's health. So sa environmental, it focuses, 'di ba? Sa environmental health, it focuses sa relationship between the people and their environment. And sa environmental health, it promotes health environment and preventing yung mga illnesses. So again, environmental health, it focuses on the relationship between the people and their environment, promoting healthy environments and preventing illnesses. So dito malalaman natin kung paano ba magkaroon ng isang healthy environment and paano din ba ma-prevent yung mga illnesses natin or yung mga disease natin na nakukuha sa environment natin. Okay, so next natin we have phases. Okay, phases of environment health or environmental health. We have water sanitation, food sanitation, community waste management, rodent control, vector control, air pollutant control, occupation control, radiologic health, sanitary house, and disaster management. So kanina, ano na ba ang na-discuss natin? Na-discuss na natin yung occupational control, ay yung radiologic health, sanitary housing, and disaster management. Okay? So nauna na po natin yung 3. So meron pa tayong 7. 7 na lang po ang ating i-discuss. Okay? So unang-una dyan, yung water sanitation. So sa water sanitation, single most important preventive measurement against disease. Sa water sanitation, syempre, kailangan ma-ensure natin na yung mga water na iniinom natin, okay, or yung mga water, mga tubig na ginagamit natin is maayos, malinis, okay, free from contaminants like yung mga bacteria, viruses, and yung mga toxic substances. Okay, yan yung water sanitation. And yung characteristic ng water sanitation, dapat clear, okay, colorless, tasteless, wala siyang lasa, okay, and odorless, wala siyang amoy, okay, fluid which is very strong solvent. Ibig sabihin, pag meron siyang, hindi siya colorless, may color siya, o kaya turbid siya, tapos mabaho ang amoy, ibig sabihin, it's either may contamination or contaminated or polluted po yung water natin. Okay? So, meron tayong mga types of water. We have potable water. Yan yung safe. Pwede nating inumin. Okay? Pwede nating safe na inumin. Okay? Kasi usually ito po yung mga nakikita natin or ito yung mga binabayaran natin, yung mga Manila, yan. Pa. Yung mga nagsusupply ng water sa bahay natin, yan yung mga potable water po. Okay? Safe, clean, free from contaminant and pollution, recommended for drinking purposes. And mga polluted water and contaminated water. Okay? Yan yung mga types of water po. Okay? Tapos meron tayong type of water according po sa resources. Ibig sabihin kung saan ba sila nanggaling. So unang-una natin yung rainwater. Okay? Siyempre sa rainwater, nandun na sa pangalan, nakukuha yan, source of all fresh water, distilled pure water which may get contaminated at atmosphere during collection and storage. So sa ulan, no? Sa ulan natin yan nakukuha. Okay? Pwede, usually yung iba, nag-i-imbak ng, lalo na kapag sobrang lakas ng ulan, pinang-i-imbak po nila yun. Pero ang ginagamit dun, pandilig, ng CR, pang-boost ng CR, okay? Pero kasi pwede po siya maging contaminated or halimbawa sa bubong ninyo, madumi yung bubong ninyo, then nagsala kayo or ipon kayo ng rainwater, may tendency na ma-contaminate po yung water natin during sa collection and sa storage. Hindi lang sa collection, pati po sa storage, usually habang tumatagal po yung water natin na naka-expose po sa naka-expose lang, yan yung dumudumi, no? Okay, may makikita nyo may mga kulay green na. Okay, may mga kulay green na nakikita, yan. And surface water, natural flow of water as a result of ground seepage like water from rivers, yan, lakes, spring, and streams. And underground water, yan yung below the layer of earth, usually clean and safe except when located near the source of pollution such as septic tank. And yung mga pipe water natin, distributed to houses by means of pipe usually treated. Ayan yung mga binabayaran po natin, yung mga pipe water na yan. And tapos na tayo sa type of water according to sources. Madali lang naman po intindihan ng rainwater, surface water, underground water, and pipe water. Okay? Next natin, we have impurities in water. Okay? So, ano yung mga pwede nating makita na ay ang mga impurities. Okay? Pwede nating makita doon sa isang water. Like, sa physical impurities. Okay, 'di ba? Ang normal na water po or masasabi nating clean or safe yung water is clear and colorless. Okay? Pag physical impurities 'yan, ibig sabihin yung mga nakikita mo. Okay? Pag may nakikita ka ng nagfo-float, yung mga particulates, okay, may mga particulates ka na or kaya nakikita mo ng turbid or cloudiness, yan. Isa yan sa mga impurities ng mga physical or yan, isa yan sa physical impurities natin. Dapat kasi clear, 'di ba? Dapat clear and clean. Clear and colorless, I mean. Okay, kapag may nakita ka ng cloudiness and turbidity, under na po yan ng mga impurities natin. Sa chemical impurities, dissolved constituents of water which account mostly for the color of water. And biologic, bacteriologic impurities include microscopic plants and animal other than bacteria present in water. So, bacteria na po ang present dito, no? And it include microscopic. Okay? Microscopically makikita natin yan. Usually, yung mga bacteriology impurities, makikita mo yan sa mga water station na nagpapatest. Okay? Kasi bago ka magpatayo ng water station, kailangan mo munang i-test yung water na isi-serve mo po dun sa mga tao. Okay? Usually itong ginagamit. And syempre lahat naman to. And radiologic impurities, result of nuclear weapon testing and discharge of radioisotopes and other radioactive waste into water courses. Okay? So meron tayo kanina sinabi ko kapag magpapatayo tayo ng water station, kailangan natin yan i-water analysis. Okay, kailangan kasi clear, kailangan safe po ang iinumin, safe ang ibibigay nyo po yan sa mga tao. Okay? So yung water analysis, it is to assess, okay? Water analysis to assess the quality and safety of any given water supply. Okay? Isa nga dyan yung sa water analysis, yung sa water station natin. Bawal kang mag-release ng water nang hindi pa nakakandak yung water analysis na yan. Kailangan may nakapost dyan na DOH. Ay 100% DOH tested. Okay, ganyan. Ganyan yung sa water station natin. Okay, sampling of water for contamination. Sample must be representative of water under examination. Contamination during examination should be avoided. Okay, sterilized glass bottles provide the stopper shall be used for collection of sample. And yung chlorinated water natin, bottles containing 0.1 ml of water sample of 3% solution of sodium thiosulfate for every 120 ml of water sample shall be used. So, para saan ba si sodium thiosulfate? Si sodium thiosulfate po is ninunutrialize na, again, to neutralize any residual chlorine in the sample. Again, kasi nga chlorinated water. So, para ma-neutralize yung mga residual chlorine natin, kailangan natin ng sodium thiosulfate. Siya ang nag-neutralize ng any residual chlorine in the sample. So sampling bottle should be kept unopened until the moment it is to be filled. So yung take note lang no na sample volume, yung mga sample volume para sa water analysis natin, dapat not less than 100 ml. Okay? Yung ikakandak, okay? Sample volume not less than 100 ml to be able to conduct all test requirements. So, kailangan kapag mag-water analysis ka, yung sample volume mo is not less than 100 ml. Okay, again, not less than 100 ml para lahat ng itetest, okay, lahat ng itetest po dun sa water ninyo is maayos, okay, mako-conduct lahat ng requirements na test requirement. Okay? So next ito na po yung under ng physical water analysis, meron tayo, hindi mawawala ang physical examination. Okay, sa physical examination, yung water itetest mo sa color niya, ano ba yung nakita mo? Ano ba, clear, colorless ba? Yan. Odor, yung odor, kung odorless ba, taste. Siyempre, titingnan natin kung may ibang lasa, 'di ba? And clearness. Yan yung mga under ng physician. Ibig sabihin yung mga nakikita nyo lang physically, macroscopically. Yan, physical examination. Next natin yung chemical examination. Sa chemical examination, to determine the chemical impurities of water, routinely measure yung pH. Okay, 'di ba? May mga alkaline water, ayan. Siyempre, diyan nakadepende yan sa pH natin. Alkalinity, ayan na po. Total solids, presence ng chloride, and test for population. So yan, gagamit na tayo ng iba't ibang testing, iba't ibang test kits dyan for chemical examination para makita natin kung pasok ba sa pH or sa mga chemical, kung pasok ba sa chemical examination yung water. And syempre, pagkatapos si chemical examination, microscopic. Ibig sabihin, doon natitignan no, kung may present ba ng bacteria, ng ova, or ng parasite natin, dyan po natin tinitest yan. Sa microscopic examination po natin tinitest yan. Okay, determine the presence of aquatic planktons, algae, which is responsible for peculiar taste, odor, and color. Okay, so hindi lang naman si plankton and algae ang tinitingnan natin dyan. Siyempre yung mga bacteria nga po and yung mga parasite natin na pwedeng mag-cause ng disease sa isang individual. Okay? So next natin, meron tayong bacteriologic examination. So sa bacteriologic examination, so dito na natin dinidetermine kung ano ba yung present na bacteria. Okay? Ano ba yung present na bacteria doon sa water? Okay? Most important single test to determine the presence of bacteria, okay, in water. This test find out if the water is potentially dangerous and whether or not kind and number of bacteria present constitute to the health standard. So dito sa microscopic makikita mo din naman na kung may bacteria yan. Okay? Pero dito kasi sa bacteriologic examination, so dito mo malalaman kung gaano kadami, kung ano ba yung presence na bacteria na nakikita mo. Okay? Gaano kadami, kung makakaapekto ba yung bacteria na yon doon sa isang individual. Okay? Kasi meron tayong mga bacteria na sobrang dami, tsaka lang siya magiging hazardous sa isang pasyente kapag sobrang dami na. Okay? So dito natin tinitignan kung yung present ba na bacteria is magko-constitute sa health hazard natin or magko-contribute doon sa health hazard natin. Okay? So meron tayong bacteriologic examination, meron tayong standard plate count. Sa standard plate count, this is done to enumerate the total viable population of bacteria present in the sample. So sa standard plate count, usually yan, yung kung gaano ba yung total population ng bacteria na nandoon na present po doon sa sample natin. Kung gaano ba sila kadami. Okay, kung gaano ba kadami yung bacteria na present po doon sa water na yon. Ito naman, test for coliform. This is done to determine the specific type of coliform bacteria present in sample. Okay, so sa coliform yan yung mostly hindi naman siya ganun ka-harmful sa pasyente or sa bumili po ng water, pero kasi pwede siyang maging cause, okay, maging cause ng mga pagsakit ng tiyan, ayan, vomit, fever, yan, yung pagdiarrhea, okay, sila yung pwede mag-cause ng mga sakit na ganon. Okay? Si coliform bacteria din kasi, ano siya tawag dito, present din siya sa mga feces natin. Okay? So, ano example niyan? Yung Escherichia coli natin, di ba? Sa Escherichia coli, index of fecal contamination and serve as indicator group in bacteriologic analysis of water. Kasi mostly, most common si Escherichia coli na nagkukos po or Escherichia coli nagkukos ng ang tawag dito nung mga illness po natin. Okay? Ayun, yung pag-fever, yung diarrhea, yan. Okay? Kaya, si Escherichia coli, index of fecal contamination yan. Again, Escherichia coli, index of fecal contamination. Ibig sabihin, kapag may nakita tayo, Escherichia coli, baka contaminated po ng fecal or feces yung water or yung sample water natin. Okay? And tandaan, si Escherichia coli, kapag present po siya, it is serve as an indicator group in bacteriologic analysis of water. Okay? So, usually siya yung makikita natin kapag nagwa-water analysis tayo. Indicator group in bacteriologic analysis of water. Okay, so sa bacteriologic examination, meron tayong mga iba't ibang test. Okay, presumptive test, it indicate whether or not there is possibility of coliforms might be present in the water sample. Okay? So usually si presumptive test, yan yung parang screening test natin. Kaya yung screening test, titignan kung may coliform tayo. Okay? Pero pag presumptive test, ibig sabihin parang hindi siya ganun ka specific, 'di ba? Kaya niyang i-detect, okay? Kaya niyang i-indicate kung meron ba tayong coliform, pero kasi for screening nga lang po siya, presumptive screening test lang siya. So kailangan i-confirm natin kung totoo ba na may coliform po talaga. Okay? Often used in the analysis of sample known to be heavily polluted. So, next natin yung confirmatory. Kung may screening tayo, meron tayong confirmatory. So, it contribute additional support evidence for the presence of coliform organism used in the analysis of sample from closed water system in which a treatment process has been carried out. So, nandun na confirmatory test. So, isa siya, okay, isa siya sa yan yung parang talagang resulta natin. Okay, 'di ba? Halimbawa sa drug test, sa urine. Sa presumptive test or doon sa screening test nag-positive siya. Pero nung nag-confirmatory tayo, nag-negative na. Okay, ibig sabihin siya yung magsusuporta natin, no? Parang evidence na meron po talagang coliform doon sa isang sample and kung wala ba talaga yung coliform sa isang sample. Okay, siya yung magko-confirm, siya yung magsasabi, siya yung magbibigay ng evidence sa atin na wala po talagang coliform or meron pong coliform na present doon sa water. Okay, next natin we have completed test. Okay, sa completed test, re-examine morphologically the typical coliform colonies and re-examine their characteristic lactose permutation. Use as quality control test on finished water supplies for contamination. So completed test parang sabi kasi use as quality control. Okay? So para siyang proficiency testing. Okay? So para ma-determine natin kung yung confirmatory test natin is tama ba, kailangan gumagamit tayo ng control test natin. Okay? And siya, si completed test, nire-examine niya yung morphological typical coliforms and examine their characteristic lactose fermentation. Completed test. Use as quality control test. Tandaan, quality control test. So para siyang positive control and negative control sa laboratory natin. Tsaka completed test, ibig sabihin, yan nga, for proficiency. Kasi sa proficiency, na-test na yan ng ng laboratory or proficiency lab, yung nagsisend sa atin ng proficiency specimen, tinas na nila yan. Okay? So, para malaman na proficient, para malaman na precise and accurate yung resulta na nire-release natin, kailangan natin i-retest. Okay? Re-examine yung proficiency sample na sinend nila sa atin. Okay? Ganun yung completed test. Para malaman kung parehas kayo ng resulta na na-release, ibig sabihin accurate and precise and maganda and tama yung nare-release nyo pong resulta. Okay, tama yung yung sa confirmatory testing nyo and dun sa screening testing nyo or presumptive testing nyo. Kaya yan yung completed test para siyang proficiency testing natin. Okay, method of treatment of water. We have household treatment. Okay, sa household treatment, filtration or straining, use of cloth to filter water impurities. So, siguro may mga ganyan na gumagawa sa atin, no, sa mga bahay, yung lalagyan ng cloth, yung bawat gripo. Then makikita nyo habang tumatagal, umiitim yung cloth natin na ginamit, 'di ba? Yun makikita nyo na nasasala yung mga impurities na galing dun sa water. Okay? And filtration. Boiling water for at least 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. So boiling water for at least 2 to 5 minutes. For sure may gumagawa din ng ganito. Okay, para may iba kasi 'di ba na hindi bumibili ng mineral water or yung may filtration, may filtered yung ano nila. 'Di ba ang ginagawa nila, binoboil lang nila yung water, then yun na yung iinumin nila. Okay, syempre, ang boiling water kasi safe din po 'yan. Okay, safe din na inumin 'yan. Syempre na papatay mo yung mga bacteria diyan through boiling the water. Okay, disinfection using yung chlorine and yung iba pang mga disinfection natin. Okay, chlorine, yan yung pinaka-common, universally employed for the following purposes. Powerful germicide. Okay, germicidal siya, readily available and easily applied to water supplies, and cheaper than any other disinfectant. Okay, si chlorine. So, other methods, okay, other treatment methods, aeration, softening, fluoridation. Sa aeration, it's a process, okay? Process whereby the water particles are brought into intimate contact with air for the purpose of affecting the exchange of gas. Peculiar taste and odor are removed. Again, it is a process whereby yung water particles are brought into intimate contact with air for the purpose of affecting the exchange of gas. Okay? Aeration, gumagamit tayo ng water dyan. Okay? Softening. Softening method of removing calcium and magnesium salt which might affect the qualities of water. Again, method of removing calcium and magnesium salt which might affect the qualities of water. Fluoridation. So, nandun na sa fluoridation, treatment process aimed at preventing dental caries or tooth decay, especially among children. Okay, so may fluoride dyan, no? Fluoridation. Treatment process aimed at preventing dental caries or tooth decay, especially among children. Coagulation or sedimentation with chemical in setting basin. Coagulation or sediment with chemical in setting basin. Next natin is use of physical and disinfectant like heat and radiation. And last, yung mga contact treatment natin. Sa contact treatment, it is removal of taste, odor, ayan, removal of taste, odor, yung color of water by the use of activated charcoal as absorbent. Again, contact treatment. So, para mawala yung taste, yung odor, yung color ng water natin, gumagamit tayo ng activated charcoal as absorbent. Activated charcoal as absorbent. Next natin, food sanitation. Sa food, okay, diba? Food sanitation deals largely with health hazard and sanitary feature of food handling, also concerned with quality and protection of food values, to ensure consumption of safe and wholesome food and protect the consumer from illness and at the same time promote his health and well-being, to prevent sale of food offensive to purchase or inferior quality and value, to reduce spoilage and waste of food. So, meron tayong mga importance, okay? Mga public health importance para sa food natin. Okay? Sa food sanitation, dyan na yung pumapasok yung para hindi tayo mag-food poison. Ayan, yung, di ba, usually kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng food poison dyan, okay? So, para alam natin kung sira na ba, okay pa ba yung binibentang meat, binibentang fish ng isang vendor. Okay? Okay. So, unang-una yung nutrition. Okay? Sinabi na natin kanina, nutrition provide essential nutrients needed by our body. Disease. Okay? Disease, food serve as a vehicle or reservoir for foodborne diseases. Okay? Foodborne infection naman caused by living organisms such as bacteria and parasite entering the body with food as vehicle for transmission. Example ng foodborne infection, parasitic or teniasis, lahat ng may ISIS tandaan infection or inflammation yan. Okay? Bacteria, salmonellosis, shigellosis, and cholera. Foodborne or intoxication, this may be caused by bacterial toxins. Kaya nga intoxication, bacterial toxins. Kasi may mga toxins po talaga ang mga bacteria. Okay? Kung nakain mo yon, hindi siya well cooked, may tendency. Okay? May tendency na ma-foodborne or intoxication ka. Okay? May also be naturally occurring poison present in plants, mushroom, fish, and spoiled foods. So, meron tayong mga terms associated with food sanitation. So, una-una, yung food control. Okay? Sa food control, it involves yung essential the protection of the consumer against misinterpretation and adulteration of foods. Okay? Consider a normal continuing responsibility of the government and is especially provided for the so-called Pure Food Law. Pure Foods Law. Okay? Ibig sabihin, may iba kasing food na parang, ano tawag dito yun? Imbis na gulay ang nilalagay, iba ang nilagay. Alam mo yung parang adulteration. Okay? So, kaya kailangan natin ng food control. Okay? Sa food control, so, dyan ang ginagawa ng food control, pinoprotektahan niya yung mga consumer doon sa mga adulteration ng food na na-adulterant. Okay? Or may adulterant na food natin. Okay? Yan yung mga food control. So, sa next natin, we have food management. Ito naman yung refers to government nutrition policies ascertaining the amount of nutrient needed by the population to be fed. Okay, formulation of and promotion of food production goals, increase the efficiency of marketing food education in nutrient and food values, improve of social distribution of food, improvement of conservation of nutritive values of food. Okay, sa food control, 'di ba? Sa food control, again, ito yung ginagawa niya, parang ini-ensure niya yung quality, okay? Kasi nga para hindi natin makuha yung may mga adulteration, 'di ba? May adulterant. So ini-ensure niya yung quality and yung safety ng food. And sa food control, ang pinoprotektahan po natin doon is yung mga consumer natin. Okay, mga consumer natin. Sa food management naman po, Sa food management, ini-ensure niya yung food items, yung quality ng food items bago ma-consume nung consumer natin. Okay, bago kainin, bago usually for harvesting, 'di ba? Para sa food management, tinitingnan yung bago i-harvest, yung pagse-select ng food natin, okay? Pagse-select ng food natin and yung preservation ng food. Usually yan yung food management. Okay?
Two new exciting flavors.
Okay, next natin we have food technology. Food technology refer to the economic application of laws and process of biology, physics, chemistry, engineering in the preparation and preservation of food product. Okay? Sa food handlers naman, syempre yung mga taong humahawak ng mga pagkain natin. Okay? They are not only those who cook and serve in public eating and drinking establishment, but also include individual in far-off places such as milker on the farm and those on farm processing of food. Again, pag food handler, sila yung, especially sa mga processed food, sila yung humahawak, sila yung nagluluto nun, sila yung gumagawa nun. Sila yung nagpa-process talaga ng food na kakainin po natin. Okay? Hindi lang siya yung nag-cook, hindi lang yung nag-serve sa public eating or drinking establishment, pati yung mga milker sa farm natin. Mga food handlers din po sila. Ay, mga kumukuha ng mga milk natin for fresh milk, ganyan, is kasama din po sila sa food handlers natin. So next natin, essential in food sanitation. So essential in food sanitation, food sources, ayan, transporting food and food materials, preparation of food, napaka-importante ng preparation of food, dapat malinis ang kapaligiran, malinis lahat, okay? Food handler, okay? Syempre yung gumagawa, kailangan malinis lang, hindi lang yung kapaligiran. Syempre, as ikaw, as handler ng pagkain, kailangan malinis ka din. Next natin, utensils and equipment. Lahat ng ginagamit nyo dapat malinis. Okay? Dapat malinis and yung mga equipment nyo po malinis din. Serving, cleanliness, and storage of food. May iba kasi dyan, may malinis naman yung paggawa, yung utensils, yung pag-serve, pero yung storage ng food, yun yung medyo hindi pasok sa sanitation kasi 'di ba may iba kala nila naka-close na talaga, naka-stored na ng maayos, pero hindi, may open pa, may siwang pa, to the point na pumapasok yung langaw, ganyan. And doon, nagkakita nyo may mga, may mga egg na ng mga langaw-langaw. Diba? Kaya yung storage of food, kailangan maayos, sealed na sealed po talaga. Wala kang makikitang gap pag nag-i-stored po tayo ng food. Okay, next natin, method of food preservation. So, meron tayong mga different method for food preservation. So, isa-isahin natin sila. Okay. So, una, refrigeration or yung cooling natin. Low temp lang po, 0 to 4 degree para ma-prevent yung bacterial activity natin. Ito ang pinaka common na preservative or preservation natin, refrigeration, 'di ba? Pagkatapos mong lutuin or para hindi mapanis daw, ire-ref mo. Okay, 'di ba? Actually, ire-ref. And yung refrigeration, natural flavor may be maintained. And drying, remove moisture, okay? Pinapatuyo mo. Okay, pinapatuyo mo yung mga foodstuff essential for bacterial growth and multiplication since bacteria need water and moisture to live. Ayan. Sa drying, so pinakamaganda dyan or advantage po ng drying kasi hindi na siya magkakaroon ng bacterial growth and multiplication. Kasi laging tandaan, ang mga bacteria natin, ang mga molds natin, ang mga molds natin, bacteria natin is gustong-gusto nila ng moisture. Gustong-gusto nila ng moisture, ng basa, ayan. Kailangan nila ng water para and yung moisture para mabuhay sila. Okay? Yun yung parang yun yung pinagkukuhanan nila ng sustansya, okay? Yung water or yung moisture po natin. Okay? Moisture to live and multifold, so drying will kill the bacteria. So maganda, isa sa advantage ng drying nga is wala ng bacterial growth and multiplication ng bacteria. And salting. Salting involves additional relatively large amount of common table salt to preserve food. Okay? Nandun na sa word, salting. Okay? Lalagyan mo yan ng sodium, ng salt natin. Okay? Ng salt natin. Para ma-preserve. Okay? Usually, di ba, may mga salted fish tayo. Yan. Ito yung mga method or ito yung method ng preservation niya. Kasi si salt as a bacteriostatic. Okay? Bacteriostatic, yan yung ang bacteriostatic po, pine-prevent niya. Okay? Ayan, ito, si salt, isa siyang agent para ma-prevent din yung growth ng bacteria natin. So, bactericidal. Okay? Kasi meron tayong bactericidal di ba? Bactericidal, yun naman yung pinapatay niya mismo yung bacteria. Okay? Si bacteriostatic, pine-prevent niya lang yung pag-growth, pagdami, pag-growth ng bacteria. Okay? Si bactericidal naman po, pinapatay niya na mismo yung bacteria. Okay? So, again, si salt, pine-prevent niya yung bacterial growth. Souring, preserving food using weak acid or mga vinegar and lactic acid. So, kung napapansin, no, yung mga pickles natin na ginawang, tawag dito, yung lalagyan lang na madaming vinegar, 'di ba? Tapos, pwede na siyang kainin. Then, usually, ito din isa sa mga ginagamit namin na preservative. Okay? 'Di ba yung mga kinilaw, yan example ng mga kinilaw, yan, 'di ba? Vinegar usually ang nilalagay diyan, mga kinilaw na isda, yan. So yan, pwede din siya as preservative kasi sabi nila hindi daw napapanis kapag may vinegar. Okay? Sugaring involves the storage of food in syrup containing more than, tandaan, 50% sucrose or dextrose. Smoking naman, it involves rapid drying over smoke. Nandun naman na sa word. Kapag may nakita yung smoke, smoking. Okay, usually done in meat and fish. The preserving action comes from some preservative in smoke. Yan, mga smoke usually done in meat and fish. Diba yung mga smoking natin, yan yung mga mga barbecue, tama ba? Basta yung mga na anuhan sa smoke, na exposed sa smoke. Usually yan yon. Okay? canning, sterilization, and cooking and preserving in a airtight tin cans. Canning. So, gumagamit tayo ng can to preserve po yung mga pagkain natin. Okay, meron tayong pure foods law, pure foods and cosmetic law. Okay, this ensure the safety of food and safeguard against adulteration and misbranding of processed food as the quality, quantity, and source. So meron tayong mga food may be altered as follows. Ano yung mga pwedeng ways para ma-alter po yung food natin. Unang-una, yung mixing. Okay? Pag-mix ng ibang substance doon sa natural food na binili nyo. Okay? Substitution naman, okay? Pagpalit ng cheaper food compare po dun sa talagang quality po talaga. Next, subtraction of valuable constituent. Concealing inferiority, addition of adulterants means branding. Ibig sabihin, nag-imitate ka and mislabeling. Food from sick animals or contaminated vegetable. Yan yung pwedeng mga altered, yung mga adulterant natin. Okay? Again, ito yung mga pwedeng maging cause sa mga changes doon sa composition nung food po natin. Okay? So next natin, milk and milk products. So public health importance. So nutrition, again, good source of proteins ang milk. Disease serve as a vehicle for milk-borne disease. Okay. Meron tayong milk sanitation, okay? Milk sanitation dapat must be free from bacteria and collected from healthy cattle and processed using clean milking equipment and containers and must be consumed perfectly. Fresh process using sanitary technique. Okay, again, milk sanitation. Sa milk sanitation, kailangan free from bacteria and collected from healthy cattle and processed using clean milking equipment and container and must be consumed perfectly fresh, processed using sanitary technique. Okay, meron tayong mga prevention sa milk-borne disease natin. We have prevention of contamination. Kailangan malinis, healthy yung cows, sanitary procedure, and healthy milkmen. Okay? Next natin, destruction of pathogen in milk or ang tinatawag nating pasteurization. So, sa pasteurization, sterilization ng milk at temperature of 62 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. And after pasteurization, chill natin, chill the milk rapidly. The time and the temperature are designed to kill the microorganism with the least possible effect on the taste, appearance, and digestibility of milk. So, itong pasteurization na to, it is a test usually done in milk product to be able to assess if the milk product undergone pasteurization. Okay? Okay. Ayan, pasteurization po yan. Next natin yung examination ng milk. Meron tayong physical, chemical, bacteriological, and reductase test or phosphate test. Si phosphate test, ito yung enzyme or si phosphate, ito yung enzyme naturally present sa milk natin. Okay? Tapos, nade-destroy siya during pasteurization. So, a positive phosphate test, ibig sabihin, yung milk natin hindi siya pasteurized. Okay? Kaya kailangan nating i-test using phosphate test para malaman kung pasteurized ba or na-process po ba siya under the pasteurization natin. Kaya again, si phosphate, yan yung enzyme na naturally mo makikita sa milk. Okay, present po siya sa milk. Kapag yan din po yung nade-destroy during pasteurization. Kung yung isang milk, kung yung milk nag-undergo ng pasteurization, mawawala si phosphate. So, kung positive siya kay phosphate test, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nag-pasteurization. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi siya na-pasteurize. Okay? Sa phosphate test po yan. Meat and meat product, public health, ayan. Ganun lang din, ulit. Ang example ng disease natin, sa meat and meat product, usually, ito, nakukuha natin to sa mga, alam niyo yung mga sushi, pero hindi ko naman nilalat. Pero mostly po kasi sa mga uncooked beef, uncooked pork po iyan. Okay? Though yung sa sushi naman is fish naman po yung mostly yung nandun. Pero di ba may iba naman na pork yung gamit and beef. So usually mga uncooked pork and beef po, yan, nagkakaroon sila ng tapeworm. Kasi meron tayong pork and beef tapeworm infection. Okay? So, meron tayong prevention. Okay? Prevention of meat-borne or meat-transmitted diseases. So, avoid using hot meat. Meat which has not been inspected and approved for sale. So, yung tawag po natin sa meat product na hindi nag-undergo ng any inspection and not suitable for distribution in the market is hot meat po ang tawag. Hot meat, it is, we call hot meat kapag hindi po or yung meat product that's not undergo any inspection and not suitable for distribution in the market, hot meat po yun. Tawag. Okay, proper storage of meat if not cooked at once and all processed meat shall conform with the BFAD prescribed procedure of processing and labeling as to quality and quantity. Okay? So, meron tayong fish sanitation na. Okay? Sa fish sanitation, ayan, yung mga disease na pwede nating makuha sa fish sanitation. Sa fish sanitation, kailangan cook fish at once. Okay? Refrigerate or preserve of not cook at once. Okay? Pwedeng sa fish natin, ayan, lutuin muna, ayan. And kung hindi naman, para ma-preserve natin yung fish natin, i-refrigerate na lang po. Okay? Sa fish sanitation naman, prohibit yung dynamite fishing. Okay? Prohibit dynamite fishing. Ano pa? Prohibit dumping of sewage in the bodies of water. Okay? Yan yung mga para magkaroon tayo ng fish sanitation. Sa shellfish sanitation naman, ayan, cause of allergy, poisoning, and vehicle of red tide and cholera. So, sa shellfish sanitation, una-una na dyan yung mga oysters natin, clams, prawns, mussels, crab must be bred or cultured in a cleaned water. So, kailangan muna natin cultured or i-breed. Okay? Sa malinis na water po. Okay? Ponds where shellfish are bred or culture must be free from possible source of pollution and contamination, especially sewage. Kailangan malinis po talaga, no? Malinis yung, especially kapag talaga ang business nyo is nagpapalaki or nagpapadami kayo ng mga oyster, ng mga clams, or yun yung mga binebenta nyo, kailangan yung pond, okay, yung fish pond nyo po, or fish pond nyo is malinis. Okay? dapat wala siyang possible source of pollution and contamination, especially sewage. And cook shellfish at once and avoid eating raw shellfish. Again, avoid eating raw shellfish. Okay? Usually kasi ang nagkukos naman talaga ng disease natin pag fish, meat, and yung mga food natin, especially pang wool, pang food natin, mga uncooked, 'di ba? Mga raw. Mga raw yung mga usually ang nagko-cause ng disease po sa atin. Okay, meron tayong vegetable and fruit sanitation. Okay, amoebiasis, typhoid fever. Okay, so sanitation measure natin para sa vegetable and fruit sanitation, kailangan wash vegetable, kailangan yung linisin ng mabuti yung vegetable and fruit thoroughly before eating, especially of eaten raw o kaya yung mga salad natin. So kapag gusto nyo mag-salad or mag-vegetable salad, kailangan linisin po ng maayos, linisin thoroughly. Okay, avoid using night soil or yung mga human excreta as fertilizer. Kasi may iba, 'di ba? Okay daw yung yung mga excreta natin for fertilizer, tapos kakainin natin. So bawal. Okay? I-avoid natin 'yon using night soil or human excreta as fertilizer. Do not eat poisonous plants and crops. Refrain from using chemical insecticide for plants, fruit, and vegetable. Yun yung mga sanitation measurement para sa vegetable and fruits natin. Okay, meron tayong community waste management. So, waste materials consist of human excreta, garbage, and mga industrial waste natin. So, it is a solid and semi-solid waste material other than human excreta and divided into 1. Garbage, ashes. Okay? Mga ashes natin, yun yung mga leftover from burning woods and charcoal. Ayan, yung mga irritant to eyes and nose. Rubbish and other insects and can cause wound injury. Dead animals, ayan pa. And street sweeping. Yan yung mga community waste management natin. So, isa-isahin natin sila. Una is garbage. Okay. Garbage, these are the solid waste resulting from the processing, preparation, and consumption of food. Yung mga leftover vegetables, animals, and fish materials, yan yung mga garbage natin. Okay. Public health importance, serve as breeding place of flies and other insects. So, kung 'di ba kung naglilinis kayo, kung nagluluto po kayo, 'di ba yung mga na leftover nyong mga binalatan nyo pong gulay, 'di ba usually kapag hindi nyo yan kaagad tinapon, kasi garbage na nga yan. Kung hindi nyo yan kaagad tinapon, ano nangyayari? Nagkakaroon yan ng flies, 'di ba? 'Di ba makikita nyo ang daming maliliit na flies doon kapag hindi mo kaagad siya tinapon. Okay? Ayan, mga offensive odor. So kaya kailangan nga iba ang tapunan ng mga pwedeng ma-decompose, 'di ba? Or mga pwede nating gamitin pa, 'di ba? Ito, pwede natin, I think pwede ata to as fertilizer yung ibang vegetables. Ba yan? Kapag hindi ka agad natapon, imbak lang kaagad yan, offensive odor. Yan, public health importance. So kailangan iba po yung sa nabubulok and hindi nabubulok. Okay? Si rubbish, these are maybe combustible or non-combustible. So, combustible, ibig sabihin, yan yung mga paper, furnitures, ayan, considered as fire hazard. Ibig sabihin, madali silang mga masunog, Yan yung mga combustible, madaling masunog. Non-combustible, ayan, yung mga ceramic, yung mga glass waste, and yung mga metal. Breeding place of mosquito and other insect can cause wound injury. Okay, again, combustible, ibig sabihin, yan yung mga madaling masunog. Okay, yan yung mga madaling masunog. Non-combustible, syempre, hindi yan kaagad-agad nasusunog. Okay, o hindi yan nasusunog. Yan yung rubbish natin. So, meron tayong types. Type of waste according to use, household waste. Yan, sinabi ko na dapat may biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Yung mga na-decompose and yung mga hindi na-decompose. Hazardous waste, yan yung mga industrial waste natin. Usually, yan yung mga carcinogenics, no? Mga carcinogenics. And yung mga hazardous, usually sa laboratory yan. Pwede din yan. Okay? Ayan, immediate and long-term risk sa mga tao, sa animals, sa plants, and sa environment. Yan yung mga hazardous waste natin. Okay? And catches fire easily, especially the gasoline and thinners. Reactive or non-stable enough to explode or release toxic fumes. So, yan yung mga types of waste according sa use. Una, si household. Pangalawa, hazardous waste. So, meron tayong 3 basic method of refuse disposal. So, unang-una, storage. Sa storage, dapat adequate yung size and with cover. Again, yung storage natin na mga refuse disposal natin. Okay? Dapat po adequate yung size and dapat may cover. Yung collection naman dapat at least once a day with total coverage. So collection ng disposal or nung refuse yung mga waste natin, kailangan at least once a day with total coverage. And yung mga final disposal, burying, burning, feeding to animal, mga left over food, composting public disposal, yan, yung mga frequency collection, and final disposal method, sanitary landfill. Okay? Okay, so meron tayong Okay, so next natin dito sa final disposal, yung excreta natin. Okay, excreta, yung mga feces, urine, ayan, and sewage. Okay, so meron tayong mga 3 consideration in sewage disposal. Okay? So una, public health reason para ma-prevent yung pollution. Again, public health reason para ma-prevent yung pollution, aesthetic reason naman para ma-prevent yung mga foul odors. Okay? And development of stream and shoreline made unsightly by solid of suspended waste material. And syempre yung economic reason para ma-prevent yung killing of commercially valuable fish life, infection of livestock and other animal life, and deterioration of land values. And yung mga reason for proper waste disposal para ma-prevent yung communicable disease natin. And meron tayong mga ways involving disposal of human waste. Okay? Use of freebie, use of sanitary toilet and burying. So, ayan, freebie is structure that used for reception of disposable and storage of feces and human excreta. Usually si freebie, ano yan eh, parang old na ginagawa ng mga or times. Para gagawa ka ng maghuhukay ka, then tsaka mo siya, tapos dun mo ilalagay yung mga pit parang pit. Okay? Tapos doon mo ilalagay yung dinumi mo or yung mga waste mo. Okay? Or yung mga feces mo or yung mga excreta mo. Ayan, use sanitary toilet and burying. Okay? So, next natin we have rodent control. Sa rodent control, syempre cause harm by serving a source of reservoir yung mga rat natin. Okay? Leptospirosis, rat bite fever, marine typhus, and salmonellosis. Okay? Destroy food, clothing, furniture, and machine. Kaya nga, sa bawat facilities, kailangan meron tayong mga rodent control, no? Every year, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng pest control. Or pest control, ibig sabihin, lilinisin yung buong facility, lalagyan ng pangtanggal, pangpatay ng mga rat, ayan. 'Di ba? Yan yung ginagawa natin, rodent control. Kasi syempre, dinidestroy niya yung mga pagkain natin na nakaimbak, especially dadaga, 'di ba? Sa rat natin, kapag may nakatago kang food diyan, may tendency na kainin nila, makita mo na lang wala na. Okay? Clothing, isa din sila, and furniture and machines. Kaya kailangan mayroon tayong rodent control. Okay? Characteristic of rats, habits are motivated, well-developed special sense, prolific food habits, and have nocturnal habit. So, panggabi usually sila. Panggabi sila umaatake. Okay? Teeth with prominent incisure without canine teeth. Okay? Ganyan yung mga characteristic ng cats natin. And para ma-prevent, okay? Prevention ng control natin. So, prevent permanent use of rat-proofing structure in building construction. So, yun yung mga environmental sanitation measure. Okay, next natin temporary. Sa permanent, dapat gumagamit daw tayo ng rat-proofing structure. Okay, so medyo masyado kasi magastos yung mga ganyan, no? Next natin, temporary rat destruction by mechanical means, use of traps, manual killing. Okay, yung mga temporary lang yung saglit lang natin na pwedeng gamitin. Okay, yung mga traps, okay, yung mga rat traps, yan, yung mga manual killing, okay? Ano pa, yung mga rodent stoppage and rat proofing, elimination of rats, entrances, and venues. Okay? So, yan yung mga kailangan natin lalagyan ng mga traps. Yung mga kung saan ba entrance, pili mo doon pumapasok yung mga rat natin. Okay? And fumigation and poisoning. Okay? Cleanliness and proper waste disposal to the rodents of food. Okay, fumigation and poisoning. So usually sa poisoning, halimbawa maglagay ka ng pagkain diyan. Then yan yung magiging trap mo, 'di ba? Trap mo tas may yung pagkain na yun may kasamang poison. Okay, health education camping on the effect of rodents and way of eliminating them. Okay? So yan po yung ating rodent control. And syempre, meron tayong vector control. Okay, sa vector control, ibig sabihin, nandyan na usually yan pumapasok yung mga mosquitoes natin. Okay, malaria eliminated as public health problem in all endemic provinces. So yan yung mga mosquitoes. Usually, Yan, yung mga insects natin, yung filariasis is eliminated as public health problem, schistosomiasis eliminated as a public health problem in all endemic provinces, morbidity and mortality ng dengue infection are reduced. Yan yung goal ng vector control natin. Lahat ng related sa mga vector or dun sa insects, sa mga birds na pwedeng mag-cause ng disease natin, yan yung goal ng isang vector control. Okay, so sa vector control, meron siyang public health importance. Disease may be caused by insects nga po, directly by hypersensitivity sa bites nila or allergic hair, scales, and body. Infestation or direct invasion by mites and parasitic larva or acting as a vector for transmitted disease. So meron tayong mga vector which is yung arthropods natin. Arthropods are invertebrate animals with segmented bodies, jointed appendages, and hard covering exoskeleton. Okay, si arthropod or other invertebrate, sila yung nagtatransmit, which transmit infection by inoculating into and through the skin or mucous membrane by biting or by depositing of infective materials on the skin or on the food or other object. Again, arthropod. Arthropod or other invertebrate nga po which transmit infection by inoculating into and through the skin or mucous membrane by biting or by depositing of infective materials on the skin or on the food or other objects, arthropods. Una natin, class insect, may mga flies, mosquitoes, bees, butterflies, bugs, yan. And next natin yung mga mites, ticks, scorpions, and spider. Okay, again, class insect, yung mga flies natin, class arachnida, mites, ticks, scorpions, and spiders. So, meron tayong mga vectors, okay? Types of vectors, meron tayong mechanical vectors. Okay, sa mechanical vectors, transmit the infectious agent and not essential in the development of the agent. So, lagi tandaan kapag mechanical vector, usually outside lang po, okay? Outside the body or outside the body ng human, okay? Doon usually nagkakaroon ng contact or doon natatransmit. And sa mechanical vector, ang difference kasi ni mechanical and biological, yung life cycle involved, okay? Sa mechanical, hindi involve ang life cycle natin dyan. Kasi nga po, si mechanical vector, okay, pwedeng makuha mo or yung mga flies natin can pick up infectious agent outside of their body. Di ba ang life cycle kasi, sa life cycle, pumapasok sa katawan nung host natin. Okay? Yung infectious agent. Unlike kay mechanical, hindi po, kaya hindi siya kasali sa life cycle natin. Kay biological vector, ayan, transmit the infectious agent and essentially in development of agent acting as definitive or intermediate host, which is the mosquitoes natin. Okay, sa biological, apektado or affected or involved po si life cycle natin. Okay? Si mechanical hindi, si biological involved po. Okay? Kasi yung mga mosquitoes or yung mga ticks na nagke-carry ng mga pathogen or ng mga infectious agent, nagmo-multiply po yan sa loob ng katawan. Kaya po, apektado po ang life cycle natin dyan or involved po ang life cycle natin dyan. Okay? Next natin, defensive and preventive measure, naturalistic or environmental control, and mechanical control. So sa naturalistic or environmental control, okay, naturalistic or environmental control, a change in environment is needed to make it unsuitable for breeding and growth of insects, requires the knowledge of the life cycle and ecology of arthropods. So again, pag naturalistic, environmental, or biological, life cycle or involved po si life cycle po natin dyan. Okay? Require a long-range program and may require agricultural and engineering project. Result of permanent, lasting, and more effective proper waste disposal, drainage, or flushing of stagnant water. And next natin, mechanical control. Expensive. Okay? Kasi, usually, kailangan lang natin dyan ng mga insecticides or larvicides. Okay? Okay, ito kasi, kailangan natin malaman yung life cycle ng arthropods. Kailangan natin malaman para dun pa lang magkaroon na tayo ng idea para ba natin makokontrol yung paano ba natin makokontrol yon? Paano ba natin mapapatay? Paano ba natin malalaman na hindi na magmumultiply ang arthropods na yon? Okay? And also, yan din ang nakalagay, a change in the environment is needed. Kailangan nating baguhin yung environment natin, okay, para hindi na mag-breed or mag-growth po ng ulit yung mga insects or yung mga arthropods natin. Sa mechanical, ano ginagawa? Destruction ng insect through the use of insecticide or larvicide. Okay? So sa naturally or environmentally ginagawa sa environment mo or sa environment mo gagawin para hindi na mag-growth yung mga insect or hindi na lumala pa. Ito, yung mechanical, gagawin mo talaga na may gagamitin kang chemical para hindi na growth yung mga infectious agent natin. Okay, most popular method but the following limitation, expensive. Siyempre, ang insecticide and larvicide po is hindi siya pang matagalan, 'di ba? Nauubos siya. Unlike kapag ang environmental or natural control po kasi ang ginamit nyo, sabihin, lilinisin mo yung buong environment, 'di ba? Lilinisin mo yung surroundings mo. 'Di ba? Pag nilinis mo 'yan lagi, nililinis mo 'yan lagi, doon pa lang may control ka na para hindi pa magkaroon or hindi na lumala or mag-grow yung infectious agent. Ito, insecticide and larvicide po kasi nauubos sila. Kaya expensive. Okay? Contaminates the environment. Siyempre, poison po. Okay? May pwede kang ma-poison kapag gumagamit tayo ng insecticides and larvicides. Okay? Prolonged use of insecticide produce a resistant among insect. 'Di ba katulad ng ipis, 'di ba sa sobrang lagi niyo siyang ini-insecticide or nilalagyan ng mga gumagamit tayo ng mga ganun, mas resistant na sila, nagiging resistant na sila sa mga insecticides natin. Kaya nga mas dumadami pa or mas baliwala na lang sa Okay, nagiging resistant pa yung mga ipis natin or yung cockroach natin kapag gumagamit tayo ng mga insecticides. Okay, so meron tayong air pollution control. Okay, ano ba natin ma-control yung mga pollutants natin or air pollutants natin. Okay, introduction into the atmosphere of substance harmful to public, any alteration of physical, chemical, and biological properties at the atmospheric air, presence of substance in the atmosphere in excess of normal limits and procedure, adverse effect on Okay. Presence of substances in the atmosphere in excess of normal limits and procedure adverse effect on health. So, yung mga air pollutant natin, so, siyempre, nandun na sa word air, nakukuha natin yan through air. Okay? Yung mga air pollutant natin, like yung mga gases, yung mga vapors, yan po, yung mga air pollutant natin. And pwede mag-cause ng disease or ng hazard sa ating ng health hazard po sa atin. Okay? Ayan. Pollutants, any substance found sa atmosphere natin other than the nitrogen and inert gases in their normal concentration that is detrimental to health. And yan, consists of mga aerosols, yung mga gases, and yung mga vapors po natin. So, yung mga general effect of air pollution natin, syempre, it can damage the health or sa mga health natin, no? Pwede mag-damage natin yan. Irritation to eyes. Okay, yung mga, especially kapag nasa malapit ka sa isang kumpanya, 'di ba? Na yung usok is or yung pollutant nila nadadamay pati hanggang sa bahay ninyo, pwede tayong ma-irritate sa eyes, sa ears, sa nose, and sa throat. Okay, damage to plant. Okay, animals and reduced visibility. Okay, yan yung mga types of air pollutants. Ito naman po yung mga types of air pollutants. Natural air pollutants, yung mga dust, yung mga pollens, and yung mga volcanics, and yung ashes natin. Yan yung mga natural. So, tandaan lang yung mga iba't ibang types natin, hindi lang sa air pollutants, kundi sa mga nauna nating diniscuss, ba? Kasi baka yung exam ninyo is medyo, alam niyo na, medyo baka kailangan po talaga is analyzation. Okay? Artificial pollutants, ayan yung mga burning, combustion, vaporization, ayan. Radioactive disintegration. So nandun lang naman sa word nila, 'di ba? Pag artificial, ibig sabihin tayo ang gumagawa or man-made. Okay? Or involved ang tao, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng ganong pollutants. Unlike kapag natural po or sa kalikasan na nanggaling, yung mga yon. Okay? Yung mga pollutants na yon. And meron tayong mga common air pollutant. Isa-isahin natin yan. Ground level ozone, nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, sulfur oxide, carbon dioxide. Okay, unahin natin yung ground level ozone or ozone is a colorless, odorless gas composed of 3 oxygen atoms. It is not usually emitted directly into the air but at the ground level and is created by chemical reaction between oxide and nitrogen and volatile organic compound in the presence of heat and sunlight. So sa ground level, so usually nagfo-form siya or highly irritating gas po siya. Okay? That form just below or above the earth's surface. Okay? So meron kasi siyang ang ground level ozone natin, code po siya as secondary pollutant. Kasi nagpo-produce po siya ng dalawang primary pollutant na nagre-react po doon sa sa sunlight and din sa heat, which is yung dalawang pollutant po natin is yung nitrogen and volatile po. Okay, yan yung two primary pollutants ng nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compounds. Okay, so again, si ground level ozone, highly irritating gas siya na nagfo-form just above the Earth's surface. Then, mai-emit lang siya or magkakaroon lang ng reaction kung ang dalawang primary pollutant, which is the nitrogen and volatile, mag-expose or mag-react doon sa sunlight and doon sa heat natin. Okay, again, magkakaroon ng chemical reaction kapag yung dalawang pollutant natin mag-react na doon sa heat and sa sunlight natin. Yan yung ground level ozone. Yung nitrogen naman po, okay, so yung nitrogen oxides, yan, mga source natin, yung mga motor vehicles, yan. Okay, yung mga family poisonous and highly reactive gases, yan yung mga nitrogenous oxide. Electric utilizes and other industrial, commercial, and residential source that burn the fuel. Okay? So, etong gases na po yan, nagpo-form lang po yan kapag yung fuel, okay? Kapag yung fuel nasusunog or nababurn at high temperature po. Again, yung nitrogen oxide, kung yung fuel, kasi may fuel ang motor vehicle, di ba? And yung mga electric utilities. Okay? And other industrial. Kapag yung fuel na burn po siya, at high temperature, okay, nasunog siya, at high temperature, nagkakaroon tayo ng nitrogen oxide. So particulate naman po, ito yung particulate found in the air including dust, yung mga dirt, yung mga smoke, yung mga liquid droplets natin. Particles can be suspended in the air for a long period of time. So particulates, mostly yan yung mga solids minsan, no, na hindi masyado nating nakikita. Okay? Pero kapag na-inhale mo, ayan, tsaka lang natin malalaman na may dirt or may dust pala tayong na-inhale. Okay, yan yung mga particulate na microscopically na nakikita. Okay, pero nai-inhale po natin yan. Okay, nai-inhale po natin yan. Hindi natin yan nakikita, tsaka lang natin malalaman kapag may na-inhale na tayong dust or mga dirt, yan, mga smoke. Kapag nag-allergy na tayo, nabahing tayo, yan. Yan yung mga particulate matters natin. Okay, so next natin, we have sulfur oxides. Sulfur oxide is dissolved easily in air. Okay? Okay, sources sa yung mga industrial facility that direct their product from raw materials like metallic or and crude oils, example, yung mga petroleum refineries, sediment manufacturing, and metal processing facilities. So again, sulfur oxide, easily na nadidissolve siya sa air. So kapag pag naka-inhale ka ng sulfur oxide, yan, usually nai-irritate yung eyes natin. I mean pag nasa air siya, usually nai-irritate yung eyes natin. And kapag na-inhale mo po yan, magkakaroon tayo usually ng irritation sa respiratory tract natin or magkaroon ng risk na magkaroon ng infection sa respiratory natin. Okay? And syempre si carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless. Okay? That is formed when carbon in fuel is not burned completely. So kanina, yung nitrogen oxide, nagkakaroon tayo ng nitrogen oxide kapag na-burn mismo yung fuel natin. Ito, nagpo-form tayo ng carbon monoxide usually kapag hindi pa completed yung pagsunog. Okay? Sources niyan, motor vehicle exhaust, industry and process such as metal processing, chemical manufacturing, wood stove and gas stove, and cigarette smoke. Okay, so usually si carbon monoxide, yun yung yun yung kapag naiwan ka doon sa isang car, sa isang sasakyan nang walang exhaust, hindi ka na-exhaust, 'di ba? Or yung exhaust mo sira or hindi siya or may leak. May leak yung exhaust mo. Okay? Pwedeng magkaroon ng carbon monoxide sa loob ng sasakyan mo. And yun yung mag-cause na pwede kang ma-dead or mamatay. Especially, di ba, may mga encounter tayo sa mga bata na pumasok sa isang sasakyan, then mga ilang oras, wala na. Pwedeng si carbon monoxide po ang mag-cause nun. Baka may leak yung vehicle or yung exhaust ng vehicle natin. Okay? Kaya nagkaroon ng carbon monoxide. Okay, yan yung mga factors. Factors affecting air pollution, high population density, prevalence of heavy industry, temperature. Laging tandaan yung pinaka-common na nakaka-apekto sa air pollution natin si temperature. Humid and mountain around valley. And last, we have measure to prevent, control air pollution, to eliminate or to reduce the source use of anti-air pollution devices in the industry, yung mga air planning and zoning, legislation, yan yung mga laws. Okay? Yung mga laws na pwedeng gamitin or pwedeng yan yung mga laws and regulation. Okay? Prohibiting yung mga use ng mga smoke vehicle and promotion ng anti-population measurement, especially in industries, and yung mga health education and tree planting. Okay? Kasi sa tree planting, mas kahit paano na-filter niya yung air pollutants. Okay? So, yun lang for our final examination. No, yan na yung final term natin. Medyo madami-dami ang huli nating diniscuss.